You know, back in 1966, John Lennon got in a whole lot of hot water because he said the Beatles were more popular than Jesus. And the whole quote was, Christianity will vanish and shrink. And he said, I need not to argue about that because I will be proved right. He said, we are more popular than Jesus right now. And in all fairness, at that particular point in America in 1966, the Beatles were the most popular thing on the planet. So he really wasn't lying there. And also, when you look at what's going on today with Donald Trump, the evangelicals, and the moral majority, the radical right, whatever the hell you want to call them, John Lennon was right. Christianity has vanished and shrinked. It's went away, and it's been replaced by this hateful Donald Trump brand of Christianity that the evangelicals paved the way for. So I think everybody back then that burned a Beatle album and got upset at the Beatles and rallied and protested at their shows and never wanted nothing to do with them again, I think we all owe John Lennon an apology because no one has ever done the damage to Christianity that Donald Trump has done. That's why no one wants to go back to church. That's why no one wants to be involved in it. That's why more and more people you see are walking away from the church and deconstructing. Well, Ben Shapiro turns around and says, oh, well, if you just want to know what people thinks about the war, go to church, talk to people at the church, and you'll find that the majority of them still supports Donald Trump, and the majority of them still believes in this war. They support this war. Well, to Ben Shapiro, I would say this, that's not a flex at all, buddy, because if you went to Jonestown back in 1978 and you talked to the people there, the majority of those people were behind Jim Jones. And if you went to Waco, Texas in 1993 and you talked to the Branch Davidians, yeah, they were solidly behind David Koresh. And some of them still are. Some of them are still waiting to this day for David Koresh to return. So that's not a flex to tell me to go to church. The churches around here have lost all credibility as long as they back Donald Trump. As long as I see ministers trying to put a spin on Donald Trump and tell their congregation this is all part of the end times, it's all part of God's plan, you've lost all credibility. And no one should go to your church and no one should prop it up. And you shouldn't be allowed, also, you shouldn't be allowed to live your life tax free. I think these churches, if they want to engage in politics, should absolutely be taxed into oblivion. So John Lennon was right. It has vanished. It has shrinked. There is very few good people out there. I could count them on one hand how many people I know who are legit, straight up Christians and good people that really do follow Jesus Christ. And the rest of it has just turned into this hateful MAGA cult. So here's to John Lennon. Buddy, you was right. You didn't need to argue about it because it has vanished and it has shrank, all thanks to Donald Trump and this ridiculous cult.